Hi class, I hope your day is off to a good start and you've had a good day. As I mentioned on Friday, I am not here today, so this is the video. Please find in number 1 and number 2 the missing variable when the area is being found, and in 3 and 4, please find the missing variable when the perimeter is being found. Please pause the video, allow students to work on these 4 problems, and when they are done, start the video up. Hopefully you've had time to finish up these warm-up problems. In the first one we have 8 times x equals 32. X is 4. In the second one we have 15 times x equals 150. X is 10. In this we have 2x plus 15 equals 35. Therefore, x is 10. In this one, we have 2x, because this is also x, plus 20, because this is also 10, equals 40. So in this problem, x also equals 10. Please take out your homework, grab a homework sheet from the basket, and copy down problems 10, 14, and 16, and turn it into the basket. Please pause the video to allow students to do that. When they have turned them in, please start the video and I will have the answers for the students. Here are the answers to the homework problems. Number 6, the solution is x equals 3. Number 7, the solution is a half. Number 8, the solution is x equals negative 2. Number 9, the answer is h equals negative 9. Number 10, v equals 2. Number 11, x equals negative 2/9. Number 12, the negative sign was not distributed correctly to catch the terms inside the parentheses, so this should have been negative and a positive right here. So that solution is y equals 3. Number 13, the cost is $385. 20 watches are made, 20. Number 14, the height of each story is 10. You can see how we set it up here. 15, the area equals length times the width. So the width of the message is 3 inches. This is one that some people were having issues with the other day with the tip. This is 1150 equals, this is how much the cost is for the pancakes and the fruit. So we take 2p plus 150 times the 0.15, but then we have to add in the cost of those pancakes and the fruit. We then distribute and we can solve, so the pancakes equals $4.25. And finally, number 17, the attendance must be 3,500. And the last one, in A, the degree of difficulty is 3.5. In the second one, there could have been lots of things. What they had to do is they had to equal 40.5 or 40.5. So any of your scores that you added would have equaled 40.5. Remember that the top score and the bottom score are dropped. Hopefully you could see those problems and how they were worked out. And if you have any questions, you can let me know eventually. So today, as I mentioned, we are going to solve equations that have variables on both sides. In our first example, the value of the solid's surface area is equal to the value of the solid's volume. Surface area means we add up all of the sides, including the bottom and the back, and that is going to equal the volume, which is the length times width times height. So, for example, right here on this one, I have a two of them, because I have one in the front and one in the back, times 5 times x. Right here, I have 10 times x, so I have plus 2 times 10x. And then on top, I have plus 2 times 5 times 10, which will give me 50. And that is going to equal 5 times 10 times x, which is 50x. When I distribute this, I get 10x plus 20x plus 100 equals 50x. My job when I am solving with variables on both sides is to get all the variables on one side and to get all the numbers on the other. In this case, I'm going to combine 10 and 20x to get 30x plus the 100 equals 50x. I currently have all of the hundreds, the numbers, all on the left side, so I am going to get rid of and get the 30x to the other side. So this will give me 100 equals 20x. In order to solve for that, we know that we are going to divide by 20, and our answer will be x equals 5. We will also do the same thing on the second problem. We have 2 of 4x. We have plus 2 of 6x. And we have plus 2 of 6 times 4. And that's going to equal 24x, length times width times height. So our first one is 8x plus 12x plus 48 equals 24x. When I combine like terms on the left, I get 20x plus 48 equals the 24x. Since I already have the 48 here, I'm going to move the 20x to the other side, and I will get 48 equals 4x. I will divide by 4, and x equals 12. So you can see on this, the second answer is 12. So when we are solving equations with variables on both sides, to solve those equations, we must collect the variables or get the variable terms all on one side and the constant terms or the numbers on the other. It doesn't matter which side as long as they are all together. As I see this problem, I see I have the variable over here and here, but I have the numbers on this side. So my first example will be to add 2x to both sides. I will then get 15 equals negative 5x. I divide by negative 5, and I get x equals negative 3. Similarly, we may need to distribute. So in this example, we have negative 2x plus 10 because I distributed both of those. That's going to equal 6 times 2 is 12, and then 6 times negative a half x is negative 3x. Now it really doesn't matter which way because I have variables on both sides, I have numbers on both sides. So I am going to add 3x to both sides. Then I will get 1x plus 10 equals 12. I want that all by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 10. So I got x equals 2. Please try the problem next. Here are 2 other problems that I would like you to try as well. Hopefully you've had some time to work on this. Our first one, we would subtract 2x subtract 2x. That would give us negative 5x equals 19. We would then divide by negative 5. We would get x equals 3 4/5, and that is negative. In our second example, I am going to subtract 2.5y. From both sides. This will give me 6 on the left because that's nothing, equals, sorry, that should have been 2.5y, equals 2y minus 1. In order to get the 2y by itself, we add 1. So we get 2y equals 7. When we divide by 2, we get y equals 3 1/2. We distribute here. This is 24 minus 6z equals 2z. Since my 2z is already here, I'm going to add 6z. That will give me 8z equals 24. Divide by my 8, and z equals 3. There are a couple of other problems that we will be working on today. And in this case, we want all the variables on one side, so I am going to add 4x to both sides. And what I get is 3 equals negative 7, because this is 0 and this is 0. Since 3 does not equal 7, then there are no solutions. In this case, there is not a number x that would make this a true statement. Since this does not equal, there is no solution. In our next example, we have 6x plus 4 equals 12 over 2x plus 4. This is 6x plus 4 on the left. 12 divided by 2 is also 6x plus 4. As you can see, these are identical equations on both sides. So what we would do is we would subtract 6x. We would subtract 6x. We would get 4 equals 4. Since they do equal, then there are all solutions are possible. Every single number we put in for this as x will solve that problem. Please try these two problems, pause the video, and when students are ready, please restart the video. In our first example, we would subtract 2x from both sides. We would have 1 equals negative 1. This is not correct, so there are no solutions. On this side, half times 6t is 3t. Half of negative 4 is negative 2 equals 3t minus 2. These are identical. When we subtract 3t from both sides, we get negative 2 equals negative 2. All solutions are possible in this equation. We know these circles are identical. What is the area of each circle? The first thing that we have to know is the radius of the circle is going to be the same. So therefore, we know that x plus 2 equals 2x. The radius is half of this one. We are going to subtract x from both sides. We get x equals 2. So in this case, pi r squared, we have 4 pi, which is 16 pi. And if we multiply that, we get 16 pi, which is our answer. Our final example, a boat travels x miles per hour upstream on the Mississippi River. On the return trip, the boat travels 2 miles an hour faster. How far does it travel? So as you can see, we've got x plus 2. We got 3x equals 2.5 times x plus 2. When we distribute, we get this. We then subtract 2.5x to get half x equals 0.5, so x equals 10. It went 10 miles per hour for 3 hours upstream, so it traveled 30 miles per hour. Your homework is page 771 and 772. and 773. Do these problems. Thanks.